Well, hello, Doomers, and welcome. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to arch file jump right up here, skip the first sequence of this first beginning fight. This helps overall. It saves you about 40 seconds overall, so if you're feeling kind of thrifty and you want to make the beginning exciting, I recommend doing that. But when you do the arch file jump, just make sure you're standing on that little platform just so you have enough height to get up there, or else you'll just fall. But yes, welcome to probably the hardest map of Junkfood 4. This map definitely was, definitely brought me around the ringer, and was pretty tough, man. Yep. Some people said that this is like the toughest map in the WOD. I haven't completed it yet, but complete the whole WOD, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So anyways, here it is, Junkfood 4 map 87. The real reason why this is the hardest map is because the final fight, and not just the final fight, but you gotta do a lot of bullshit to get there. So let's hop right into it. First off, we got the plasma arena, and as you can see, there's 4 pillars. You gotta press all 4 buttons to progress. And these pillars, there's no way to do them quickly. There's no fun strap besides doing the arch file jump in the beginning. Yeah. So. Yeah, this is a Cinder Thief map, and the map is actually really well done. It's actually so well done. Like, actually, there's a few little mistakes I found. Like, first off, in this beginning room, an archvile can resurrect as like an enemy at the bottom, like in those little pits, and then you just won't be able to UV max the map. So just make sure when you leave this first area, you have 1,312 kills. Yeah, I usually do this button first because it has a whole bunch of chain gunners, 2 cyber demons that could just mess you up. And yeah, basically this beginning part is usually just feels like a time sink. But also, if you know about the Doomed Index, I forget exactly what it's called. I think it's called Doomed Index. This is ranked as the 23rd hardest map on there as of today. So yeah, that just goes to show you how tough this map is. I am the second person to max it. Shout out Crusader 560, I believe. He had a demo of this map, and he did kind of, I mean, I did look at his demo to see how he did things, so I'll probably bring it up if I use part of his strat or something, but yeah. Man, I always feel like I'm missing something to say, but here we are on to the 3rd button. This one is 2 cyber demons, and yeah, so a big thing to worry about in this beginning part is, first off, the flying enemies blocking you on these sides here, and then you're pretty much screwed if like you go on a side and there's just a bunch of flying enemies there. And the kamikazes spawning in, you might just spawn and hit one. The revenants, you know, their missiles perfectly go around these corners here. And the cyber demons, of course, there's only 4 of them, but they just tend to be really good at hitting me, at least. But I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm really proud of this demo. This is definitely the 2nd hardest map I've ever beaten, without a doubt. I don't think there's even a close competition for that. But dude, this map is really cool. Yeah, just like, it's called Neon Lunchbox, which you could probably tell by the colors. You'll see some pretty cool features in this map that aren't really in too many other maps later on. Yeah, here we are, post-commentary brain freeze, man. I haven't done a post-commentary in a minute. I've been busy moving. I had to move all my stuff. I didn't move far away, but I just moved, just in the area. But man, moving just sucks. You gotta do a whole bunch of shit, man. You gotta move all your stuff. You gotta put it in boxes. You gotta, move your stuff. But let me tell you all a story real quick. So while I was moving, right, I had this TV that my friend gave me, and I was really worried about it breaking. So this guy I hire a dude who's like a one-room mover. These are like popular in Korea. They help you move like one-room apartments pretty much. And so I hit him up, and yeah, he put all the stuff in the bag, but he looked at the TV. He was like, man, that shit's gonna break. So we came up with a solution that I'm gonna sit in the back of this like truck, and I'm just gonna be holding this with all my stuff. So I'm sitting in the back of this truck and just holding on to this TV for my dear life, and it is so hot in there. I'm just like sweating all over the place. It was a sweaty war. But yeah, because of that, my TV came in without any damages. But yeah, driving in the back of a truck is definitely something though. And it's like a Korean truck, it's not like a normal. But anyways, let me talk about this fight. This fight I do not like, my least favorite fight of the map. So first off, you gotta deal with these cybers. They can spawn really late or just in like random areas sometimes, so it can be very annoying dealing with these cybers. Sometimes they just rock you in the face and then you're practically screwed, because in this fight lasts for like 4 minutes, and you're given like 6 or something megaspheres, and you really need all the megaspheres you can get here. Every Revenant missile just feels like a battle lost. There's going to be archviles spawning it throughout. I believe there's like 5 or 6 archviles, and this fight is like 3 waves pretty much. Like there's 3 waves of just enemies pouring in, so you'll see it dies down after a bit. But I kind of took this strat from Crusader, so you kind of horseshoe around the room, because those spawners are like right next to the wall, so you can just get a Baron spawning, and then you're pretty much screwed if you try to push through that. So yep, I basically horseshoe maneuver around. It's a pretty good time. But yeah, so this goes on forever. Just try not to get hit. The biggest things is the Revenant missiles, and when you get an archvile spawning in, you just gotta make sure it dies. Oh, and the chain gunners. There's so many chain gunners, and they just chip down your health the whole time. So yeah, anyways, as I was saying though, the Korean box trucks, they're like, they're kind of different. You can probably look one up, and it had like a black tarp over it, so I was like fully concealed in this pitch black, holding my TV. And the reason why I couldn't just like wrap my TV up real well was because it was on the mount. I already mounted it like to like a standing mount, and I just really didn't want to like disassemble the mount, I mean, yeah, it could have been easy, but the mount was kind of strange to set up. So yeah. But I was only in the truck for like 10 minutes, but even then, it was just pure sweat. I never sweated so bad in my life. It was like I was in a sauna. Like, it was actually exactly like that amount of sweating. But man, I was cool with it, I'm one that likes to, do different things, I guess. And that just kind of felt fun, fun to do. But yeah, so this is the second phase, I believe. Maybe this is the last phase. Yeah, so last phase here, that means we're gonna get one more archvile spawning in. This attempt was looking pretty smooth. As you can see, I really haven't been taking that much damage. And even still, it's like don't have that many Megaspheres left. But sometimes you go in this fight and you just get hit by just all the Rev missiles. They're all high damage and you just get boned. This fight, man, and it's so mindless too. You're just circling around for 4 to 5 minutes. Oh, and also those buttons, I did not say this at all, but they give you ammo. So they just give you full ammo. You'll see that throughout the rest of this run. I'm gonna have to press those buttons to get ammo. So 2,175 is the amount. So let's go next fight. What I do here is I'm waiting because I don't want to kill the enemies right now because the Archviles will be stuck resurrecting them far back. So I give it a few seconds and then trying to kill them up here because you're pretty much on a time limit here because there's a second phase to this fight. And the second phase, you really want to just be prepared. And so the last fight is a pretty high area where you'll just die a lot. This fight is the second checkpoint of just like, alright, is this an actual run or am I just gonna die here? I'll let you know when that is. But yeah, that button on the left gives you Megaspheres. Every time you press it, like one of the buttons go down. You have like 7 or something, maybe 6 Megaspheres. You have a lot to work with. There was never really a time I ran out of Megaspheres unless I was like using them like too often. But yeah, really just want to focus the Archviles. And remember, this is the Junkfood 4 plasma gun, so it shoots twice as quick, half as much ammo, and double damage. But it's still annoying. They changed the sound, but it's still annoying. Alright, second phase. Sometimes if you're unlucky, they will start spawning before you finish all those Archviles. And first we're gonna have Cacos, then we're gonna have Pyro Knights, and then we're gonna have Cyber Demons, mini Cybers. Mini Cybers. Pretty uneventful at first, but when the Pyro Knights spawn in, you really gotta focus on keeping them back, because if you let them, they will take over this entire area I'm at, and then you won't have time to kill the Cybers, because right before the Cybers come, you are just given the BFG. But you just have to focus on crowd control here. I believe in this demo it went really well, like these Cacos were keeping the Pyro Imps far back. Wee wee wah 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 wah. I haven't listened to this MIDI in a while. I stopped listening to it because I was playing the map for too long. But it's actually pretty good. Bloop. Got myself a Megasphere right there. A Megasphere. So what I like to do is, I don't know if this is like the best strat, but I like to bring the Pyro Imps to one side, Pyro Knights, not Imps, to one side, that way I can just kind of focus fire and dodge projectiles easier. And at this point, you're gonna just pretty much just waiting for the BFG to spawn in your hand. And that means the true fight is starting. The true fight will be starting. Oh, here we are. So at this point, you got to be really careful of rockets. If you're unlucky, the Cyber will just shoot right through the Pyro Knights and hit you. Oh, here we are. So make sure you're at high health when you're doing this, and then we're going to want to try to keep these Cybers back. Now, a few things to note here. Ooh, that was a good shot. You're going to want to make sure these Cybers don't get around your health button. If they get to the Megasphere button, it's going to be really hard to grab health. So, just be aware of that. Oh, wow. Ooh, wow. Wow, okay. There was a lot of moments where I could have died there. Yeah, this is death checkpoint number 2. Besides the beginning. Beginning, it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's the beginning. Yeah, a lot of deaths here. It's just easy to mess up. Not incredibly hard, but easy to mess up. Alright, and now we're on to the easiest fight of the map. This is by far the easiest. So here I use Crusader's strategy pretty much. You'll see it later on, but practically I use his with just a bit of variation, but not much. So first part, just focus on killing the imps. The imps. Oh, the imps. Oh my god. Oh my god, music is replaying. Oh my god, I can't wait to hear this track again. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it's my favorite. Alright, anyways, yep, we still got the buttons to press. So, you gotta remind yourself that, you have about 15 shots with the BFG until you gotta press the button again. So, from this point forward, I am pressing buttons like every 20 seconds maybe, but usually I press them a little earlier, just in case I get myself in a sticky situation. So what we're doing now, we're keeping the Hell Knights and the Barons, we're putting them to the left side, so when these Revenants come out, we can just walk right around them. This is the Crusader strat I was talking about. He did this, and it was a great idea. So, then, what we're going to want to do, there's a bunch of Revenants on that side. We're going to want to try to push through these Mancubus, give us some extra time for those Revenants and the Cyber Demons to fight it out. Be careful here, it's pretty easy to die if a bunch of Mancs target you at once. I've died there a few times, but that, and then here, once you get through here, oh my god. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, that, I was really lucky to have lived that. So, now this fight is pretty much done. You would have to like mess up to die, or the Cybers just like checkmate you somehow. Like here, look, the Cybers are such bad positions here. They're usually way in the middle, but there it was quite unhealthy of them. Alright, and just to let you guys know how hard this final fight is, which is coming up, the next fight is the final fight. Also, that was death checkpoint number 3, like pushing through those Mancs for the first time. After that, it's on the final fight. To let you know how hard this final fight did, I literally had to set up, I had to make myself a timer, which would time when the Archviles came out. Actually, it'll make more sense if I explain it later on. I'll explain it later on. But yeah, so from now, we're basically on a timer. We're waiting for those walls to lower, and then we shoot the button. And then we're going to have a whole blanket of Archviles come out. And you can try to bum rush them and get some damage off early, but it's too risky. At this point in the run, you're already done the toughest fights. You're done you're 20 minutes in. You'd rather just die to the finale. You don't want to die here. Dying here feels like such a waste of energy and time. Because this map, let me tell you, is a time sink. To get to the final fight, which is the hardest part, you're gonna have to spend roughly 24 minutes to get there. And that's hoping everything else goes right. So, nothing really going on here. But I gotta say, the final fight is damn hard, but it's really cool too. There are some things I would change about it, but very minor. Alright, so about now is when the buttons come down. Yep, there they are. So what I do is I just shoot them. It doesn't really matter if there's enemies left, because I'm gonna wait for the arch files to be safe anyways. So, do I show it? There's arch files. I don't really show them though. Yeah, there's a bunch of arch files over there. I don't know how many, but there really isn't enough cover to try to get a good few pot shots on him at first. I'm sure you can work something out, but again, too risky. So kind of just waiting for them to, get in fighting, so I can get in there and spread out a bit. Because I believe I died to this part one time, maybe two times. I can only remember one time. But if you're slow here, this should be free. It's just, this is pretty much like a risk versus reward type of thing. How much, the quicker you do it, the more riskier it becomes. Ooh, that could have been bad with those rev missiles there. I was a bit risky here. Not super risky, but definitely something. And gotta be careful the rev missile pile up. Ooh, that was nice. And we're looking for modulus 10 with 1 kill left. So we're looking for the last digit to have 1 on it. That's how we know we'll kill everything. Right, so 7691. So this next part, it explains to you what you're supposed to do in this final fight. So whenever that shield lowers, you want to press that button. And that pretty much is the premise of this. So, now this comes the really tough final fight. So, there's 2 hard phases of this fight, and this fight lasts for around 9 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. The Revenants, they overwhelm you so easily in this fight. And you got a lot of Megaspheres, but man, you got a lot of Cyber shooting at you too. So, basically every 37.3 seconds around, the floor is going to go red. And when this floor goes red, you have got to get ready to get to these buttons. Because, did you see all those arch files? Yeah, they will kill you immediately. You have next to no hope if you let them out. But that is really hard because first off, the Revenants, they love blocking you. And second off, you have to wait for the screen to be completely down before you press the button, or it won't work. So you can't press it while it's still coming down. You gotta wait for it to be finished, which makes it even scarier. So here's another hard part. It's becoming red again. And bam, press that. If you stay in the middle part there, the Archviles, you're out of range, so it's the safest spot to be in. But with all the Revenants, it's still hard to set up. Actually grabbed a Megasphere. So yeah, first 2 to 3 button switches hits here are pretty hard, and then we have pretty much break time. So as long as you don't get like rocketed by Cyber or mess up with the Archviles, you're pretty much good for the next about like 4 minutes or something. Again, floor is turning red, so you gotta be ready. And yes, I've had a lot of deaths where I pressed the button too early. And then your screen just turns yellow and then you can't see anything. Alright, and also, don't forget, we're still pressing the ammo thing, which is just another added step to this. Alright, but to let you know how hard this final fight is, I had to make a timer that was repeating for 37.3 seconds so that I would know how long until the next button press is. I was looking for like online timers, that's what I usually do, but I couldn't find a repeating online timer that also let you do milliseconds. But yeah, approximately around 37.3, every 37.3 seconds you'll have the Archviles come down, and that's a little on the low end, I believe. Or I think it's a little bit more. It's probably 37.35. But yeah. And you have to do this 13 times in total. And at this point, I'm checking where the Megaspheres are, trying to remember. So when the final phase comes, ooh, that could have been real bad. That too. Yeah, those Kakos can just screw you over too. So when the final phase comes, I remember where the Megaspheres are, because you're gonna really have to remember for the final part. Alright, here we go. And when you're waiting for these buttons, it's super easy to get hit by the Cybers. So easy. So you don't want to go there too early, and you don't want to go there too late. I've had a lot of deaths to the Cybers here. But next, we're going to have the Rev and Mancubus phase. This is the hardest part of the final fight. And once you get here, it's really hard with the nerves once you get this far. The nerves go crazy past this point. Or this whole fight pretty much is just... It's really hard to just... like... remain calm. But yeah, so much stuff can go wrong here. Oh, no, not yet. So again, I had a timer set on my phone to know like how long until the next button press would be, so I could just gear my route towards it. And here we are, the final fight, final phase of the final fight. We're gonna have a whole bunch of Revenants, and we're gonna have one side all Mancubus. Now, this part is really tough because if you get hurt in an area where you don't have any Megaspheres left, you're pretty much screwed. And you're gonna have to pass through a bunch of Revs. And I actually grabbed a Megasphere there. And it's just so risky. And I got the Archviles coming now. So I gotta be quick. The first button press here was really good. And the here, it's just really scary, man. Pushing through those Revenants. You never know what's gonna happen. And again, these Revenants, they just love being towards the buttons, which makes them even harder to press. And if you go through the middle, wait. So here we have the red. I have to push through here. Was super lucky, no cyber demon targeted me there. And at this point, just... Oh, that could have been so bad. Yeah, there's just so many spots in this final fight where you're gonna have to risk it. And at this point, the fight is pretty much over. You just gotta make sure to press the arch files when you can. Arch file buttons. So the arch file buttons, they do look like the Duke Nukem buttons, so it's a good way to distinguish them. Oh, and those cyber demons, there's no point in trying to kill them because there's just like a spawner that will automatically teleport another one in if it dies. Alright. So yeah, second hardest map I've ever beaten. It may look easy on video, but man, or I don't know. I don't know if this looks easy to you or not. But sometimes you watch like a Doom video, you're like, yeah, this map doesn't look that hard, but let me tell you, man, this map took a lot of effort for me to beat. I'm just so happy I never have to touch this map ever again. And there we are. So at this point, the Archfiles and the Cybers, they all just died. So we just gotta kill the rest of the enemies. So yeah, really cool map though, gotta say. Beginning's very grindy, but this final fight is just so cool. Alright, there we are. Alright, so there it is, Neon Lunchbox. Done in 32 minutes and 29 seconds by Cider Thief. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.